begin in the Middle East, where both Israeli forces and Palestinian militants have stepped up their attacks in the worst fighting seen in years. The UN now warning of the risk of full-scale war. And here's a look at the intensity of the violence. An entire tower block flattened by Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. At least 35 people have been killed there. And Israel says Hamas has fired more than 1,000 rockets since Monday, killing at least 5 Israelis. The UN Security Council is set to hold an urgent meeting on Wednesday over the unrest.
Sirens fill the night sky over Tel Aviv. From their rooftops, terrified residents watch the missiles descend on their city. Israel's famed Iron Dome defense system overwhelmed by the sheer number of rockets launched by Hamas from Gaza. Israel's prime minister pledged revenge. Hamas and Islamic Jihad have paid.
Hey, Amy and I are busy today, aren't we, Amy? We're doing another video. I just want to talk about this, what do you call it? It's a dome that they've got.
Yes,
in the news,
Dome.
They're saying this is one of the most savage attacks on, what was it, Benga? Oh, which town was it, Amy? I've forgotten.
Tel Aviv.
Right, but they've got this dome up, and so everything they're firing just doesn't enter it. Just, I don't know, it almost looks like those things go up and stop. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't go boof into nothing. They don't disappear. They just sort of, oh, I don't know, they're weird. Anyways, they've got this dome that nobody else has got, and then these poor little Palestinians, they're going mad on them. I don't see it like that. I know we can't say that much.
It just seems very strange. It doesn't add up to me that they are firing, Palestinians are firing, and they've got this dome anyway, so they might as well stop. It's not gonna.
I mean, as far as I can see, those missiles are just going overhead. I just think they're using any bits of footage and then pretending that, you know, oh, that one didn't go into whatever it was. Don't ask me what this is. I don't know what they're trying to show here. These sort of missiles going up and going all skew whiff, but I don't know. It's obviously they've got this dome. They're saying that no one else has got it, not even the Americans. And you know, they're worried about war and all this, and you're like, oh God, we're back onto all that now.
Exactly.
You know, if there's any unrest after the map that I showed of what it looked like in 1948 and what it looks like now, it used to be called Palestine. Then they changed its name and they put the Palestinians back in tiny little pockets of land on it, what they've been doing.
Yes.
In fact, it doesn't, apart from the Gaza Strip, it doesn't really look like Palestine exists anymore.
I know.
But anyway, this dome is to protect the Israelis.
Yes.
What have they got that we haven't got then, Amy?
I know. That's really something, that they can have such a high defense, or such a sophisticated defense system that we don't have, and you don't have.
I mean, this is probably what when they were talking about Star Wars and all that rubbish. This is probably what I thought that they were going to do then, was have. I thought this sounds like Star Wars, doesn't it?
It does.
But we never got that far, did we? And then why? Look at you can actually see where they're launching them from. Like they're actually in Tel Aviv launching them, as if that would happen.
That's right. It wouldn't happen.
I don't understand all this, but we're back onto this another pile of tricks.
Yes.
Just wondered what, you know, everybody thought about this dome, which is supposed to be over Israel, protecting Israel.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like people are there. I don't know if there's boxes around those, you know, some boxes around them. I mean, you just don't know, do you, whether they've made... Oh, just what can we say, Amy?
I know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. at all. And as you said, Palestine, you know, they're hardly even there, I don't think, you know. And it seems unusual to me that they would be firing one Tel Aviv, and especially when they have this, supposedly have this Iron Dome, you know, what's the point in it? And then they've got to worry about Israel striking back. I think they might have already struck back from something I saw 2 days ago.
Did you say that you saw this thing wasn't new anyway? It's been there for a while.
Yeah, I was looking up. Oh, you mean the Iron Dome?
Yeah.
But, excuse me. Yeah, I guess it's been there for a while. But I never really knew about it, you know. And when we, back in the 80s with Reagan and the Star Wars program, back then I was a very strong Republican and a very strong Reagan supporter, and I thought the Star Wars program sounded brilliant. I didn't know everything that I do today, and I just thought, well, that's a brilliant idea that we would just be able to deflect any missiles or whatever. But now I don't know what to say about any of it, and it just seems really strange that Israel would have this Iron Dome, and then these Palestinians.
How can it be an Iron Dome? I suppose it's because of the bombs, but it's not iron, is it?
Right. I wouldn't. Excuse me. I wouldn't.
I mean, in Tel Aviv and Israeli places, they've always had these weird lights and beams and things going up into the sky. But on some of the news we heard the sirens, and on some of the news we didn't. So they're lying about the sirens and making it even more theatrical by putting the sirens in.
Yes, we've seen that in other footage of different events where they put different sounds in there, kind of add them in or whatever.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to know what to say, really. All I know is just asking people what they thought of this. Real, not real.
Yeah.
Pile of tricks. History. Lies.
Right. What is really on?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to find out.
Yeah. Anyway, Amy, we just want. Oh, I've just got some boxes come up. Go away, box. We just wanted to. Oh, it's stopped now. We just wanted to show people. Obviously, this is talk of the town this last couple of days.
Yes.
It looks like a firework display, to be honest, without quite fireworks.
It really does.
But they're just white lights, aren't they? You'd never believe they were bombs.
I know.
Would you?
It looks like fireworks to me too.
Except they don't have. They are moving across the sky, but they don't have tails on them. These things. They're just a light going through the sky.
Yes.
It's hard to tell if there's anything attached to the light.
Right.
Mind you, if they've got this and it's an iron dome over, it's like having another, you know, like we're all in an enclosed system, so they've just got another enclosure.
That's right.
We're already covered with something like this. Maybe they've worked out. I don't know how would they be able to do it?
I don't know.
Maybe they're in space as well.
Maybe so. That's right.
Anyway, Amy, we've just about finished.
Oh, okay, Karen.
None of this is good, though, is it? Because you know that they're desperately trying to get us into another war.
Exactly. You're right. So it's not good.
No. But that's what they want, isn't it? To get us into another war.
Yes, that's what they always want. Yes.
They love putting these wars up.
They do.
Anyway, Amy, thank you so much for your help.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen.
I'm looking at this map here of, it's got 1917, and it's got Palestine and Jewish, and obviously it's the other way around here. There's hardly any Jewish, and it's all Palestine, whereas today it looks like this, totally different. absolutely
Yes.
different, where there isn't really any Palestine.
Yes, because after World War II, what they said was that, the Jewish people, after the Holocaust, when they were living in all different countries in Europe, and then, how they told us that Hitler rounded them up and everything. So after the World War II, they said, well, we want to have our own country so that we won't ever be in that position again, to where we have to live in other countries and not have our own homeland. So they wanted their own, and so they went to Israel.
Now Palestine hasn't even got a country. They've got a bit there and a bit there and a bit on the Gaza.
Yes. Yeah, the Palestinians has suffered.
It says Israeli and occupied land. 1 second. Sort of actually tells you here that it's 6,220 kilometres squared. Population 4,685,000. I was going to say, how big is Israel Palestine? Really? Oh, I'm calling it Israel Palestine. How big is Palestine now? Right, it's just got the miles up there. Is Palestine a poor country? Well, the levels of poverty are at 80%. How much Palestine is occupied by Israel? They expelled at least 750,000 Palestinians and captured 78% of the historic Palestine. The remaining 22% was divided into West Bank and Gaza Strip, and the fighting continued until 1949, when an armistice between Israel and Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan and Syria was forged. Then it goes on.
Yeah.
Why did Palestine get removed from the map? Doesn't really say. The claims that it was removed appear to stem from a viral Instagram. Okay, so I don't know. Is it safe in Palestine? Overall experience is that Palestine is safe, friendly and interesting place to visit. But if you would want to get the most out of it while it's travelling safely, there's advantages to travelling in small groups like ours. Does the US recognise Palestine? Does not recognise Palestine. The US does not recognise Palestine. Who finances the Gaza? I don't think anybody does. How dangerous? So let's look. How dangerous is Gaza? It's dangerous since May 2010. So it is dangerous then.
Yes.
I actually think that when you look, let's go back up here to images. When you look at the images, it's hard to work out where is Palestine. There it is, that map again. Bits in there with the Gaza Strip when it used to be the whole thing, and they've made it smaller. There's another one here. I think it's the same map. Let's take this one up here then. Have a look at it. There you go. That's how it all changed. How can you say what Palestine is when it's broken into... Well, it looks like 1, 2, 3. There's 4 parts of it.
Well...
all surrounded by Israel. They were probably testing out their Iron Dome thing, and then pretended it was Palestinians that did it.
That's what I think. That's my feeling.
Oh, you know, in one of those Henry Wars, basically they didn't even want to go to war. I think it was Henry, that one we were doing. They didn't even want to go to war, and the people were like, oh no, because it affected all the trading and everything and made people redundant and all that. And I'm thinking, that's just what's happened now.
That's right.
History keeps repeating itself.
It does. That's right.
Well, what's everybody's comments then? We can't say too much because, well, we can't as usual. But I actually think, well, if they've got 80% poverty, then I don't know if this has happened. Well, anyway, I think everybody gets my gist without saying any more. What about you, Amy? Do you want to say anything?
Oh, no, I agree with you, Karen. I think you're right about that.
And at this rate, in a few years' time, there won't be any Palestine.
Exactly. Yes, I agree.
And I hadn't quite realised it's between the Jewish and the Arabs. So the Jewish are the Israelis and the Arabs are the Palestinians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's almost like, you know, having England and then America says, no, that's ours, and then we get put into a few places. I wonder how those people would be, but I think the Palestinian people are always really nice, and whatever this is, it's the politics, isn't it?
I agree. Yes, I know Palestinian people, and they're friends of mine, and they're lovely, absolutely lovely. Oh, it's very sad.
I think yes, all of this is extremely sad to keep doing this. So we've had months and months and months and months now of nothing because of the lockdown, and now suddenly we're back into almost war, and I feel exhausted, and I've only watched a tiny bit of it.
I know, me too.
I don't want it. It's just ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
So what, the Palestinians have been quiet all the other time, they've just started doing it now. Yeah, right.
Right.
Anyway, Amy, we're going to finish because we haven't got any more answers, but we just wanted to talk a little bit about it.
That's right, Karen.
Thank you, my darling.
Oh, you're welcome, my darling.